بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today we will be continuing our tense classes. So far we have covered 5 different tenses. 3 in the present, 2 in the past, and today we will be covering our 3rd past tense, which will be the past perfect tense. We had mentioned that every single tense we will cover 3 categories. Every single tense we will cover 3 categories. Those 3 categories are the usage, the key or the signal words, and the form or the formula or the format. So the usage, like we had mentioned in our previous classes, is how will we use the words? What situations in which we will be using this tense? The key or signal words are the specific words that you will see that indicate that you are using that specific tense. So for example, the past perfect tense, what type of words will you see in a sentence that indicate that this is the past perfect tense? And the 3rd category, we will go over the form or the structure in which we understand how to construct a sentence in that specific tense.
hore waxaynu soo xusnay inuu Englishku leeyahay 12 tenses oo asaasiya. Casharkeena maanta waxa uu ku saabsan yahay past perfect tense, inaga oo cover gareynayna 3 qaybood: usage oo ah isticmaalka, keywords kelmadaha ku habboon in la isticmaalo, iyo format qaab dhismeedka loo dhisayo kelmadda.
So the first category that we will be covering today in the past perfect tense is usage. When will we be using this specific tense? When will we be using the past perfect tense? The past perfect tense and the present perfect tense are actually used in the same way. So if you remember class number 3 that had to do with tenses, we covered the present perfect tense. The past perfect tense is used in the exact same way as the present perfect tense. However, the slight difference is the past perfect tense is talking about a time that happened in the past. It refers to a time in the past, whereas the perfect present tense refers to a time in the present. That's the only difference.
Present perfect tense iyo past perfect tense wax badan kuma kala duwana. Waxa ay ku kala duwan yihiin oo kaliya ta past perfect tense waxa uu ka hadlayaa waqti tagay, wax dhacay, halka uu present perfect tense uu ka hadlayo wax dhacay, waqti taagan.
So the past perfect tense, what type of situations will it be used? When you want to talk about something that started in the past and still continued to a given time in the past. I will make that more simple to understand. So something happened in the past and it continued for a certain time to another point in the past. So we're talking about 2 different times that occurred in the past. Start to finish, but it's both in the past. So for example, if I say I had learned English for 10 years. So there was the beginning time, which was before 10 years, and then the ending time, which was after that 10 years. So I had learned English for 10 years. We're talking about something that started in the past and still continued to a given time in the past.
Past perfect tense xaaladda koowaad aan isticmaalaynaa waxay tahay markaynu ka hadlayno wax dhacay waqti tagay dhamaadayna xilli kamid ah waqtiga tagay tusaale ahaan I had learned English for 10 years waxa aan baranayay Englishka 10 sano.
Another situation where you will see the past perfect tense is when you want to talk about something that happened before another action in the past. So something happened before another action in the past. So it's kind of like the opposite as the previous situation. In the previous situation, there was something that started and then it went on for a bit and then it ended in the past. So now we're talking about something that started before to a specific period. So just to give you an example, my mom had come home before it rained. My mom had come home before it rained. So both of these things occurred in the past. There are two things that happened. My mother came home and it rained. These are two things that happened in the past, but my mother coming home, it occurred before it actually started to rain. So these are two situations, these are the only two situations in which you will be using the past perfect tense.
xaaladda labaad ee isticmaalayna waxay tahay marka aynu ka hadlayno laba shay oo dhacay waqti tagay laakiin mid ahaan ka kale ka horeeyay. tusaale ahaan my mom had come home before it rained. hooyadii waxa ay timid guriga inta aanu roobku soo da'in ka hor.
Category number 2. What are some signal words or key words that when you see them you know that you're in the past perfect tense?
qaybta labaad waa keywords. Keywords waxa weeyaan kelmadda ku habboon inaad ku hadashid marka aad isticmaalaysid tense-kan. hadda waxaynu xusaynaa tusaalayaal ka mid ah keywords-ka.
I'll give you 4 words that are very common in the past perfect tense. If you see the word already or just, never or ever, those 4 words, it is highly likely you are talking about something that happened in the past perfect tense. And I'll give you an example. That situation that we just mentioned in category number 1, my mom coming home before it rained. Let me try using these words in that sentence. My mom had already come home before it rained. So I said one of the key signal words is already. My mom had already come home before it rained. Try another signal word. Let's just switch it with already. Just. My mom had just come home before it rained. So you see, it's the same sentence, just we changed the signal word and it means the same thing. So these are 4 words that you will quite commonly see in the past perfect tense. Category number 3. What is the structure or the form or the format or the formula, whatever you want to say, that you will be using when you want to construct a sentence in the past perfect tense? Just like the past tenses, and we will keep repeating this, is there will always be 2 categories. And the first category will always be the same. By now you should know, the first category will always have a positive sentence, a negative sentence, or a question. So in every single tense, you can either make a positive sentence, you can make a negative sentence where you negate something, or you can ask a question. An example of a positive sentence, she had done her homework when I came. Negative, she had not done her homework when I came. Had she done her homework when I came? That's a question.
qaybta saddexaad waxa weeyaan formatka qaab dhismeedka oo u sii kala jaba laba qaybood. qaybta koobaad waxa weeyaan positive xaalad tagtay, negative diidmo, iyo question su'aal. tusaale ahaan positive, she had done her homework when I came. Negative, she had not done her homework when I came. Question: had she done her homework when I came?
The second category has to deal with the actual formula. So in a positive sentence, in a negative sentence, in a question, how will I be able to construct a sentence? You have to follow a formula. The formula in this case, so we'll start off with a positive sentence. The formula in this case, just like all of the other tenses, it starts with a subject. So what are you talking about? I, he, she, they. What is the subject? So we'll continue with the example that we just mentioned before. We'll use she. She, when you have the subject, the next word that you will use, and it will always be this same word, is the word had. The word had. For past perfect tense, you will always be using this word. The word had, H-A-D. Subject plus had plus past participle, or you can just say a verb in the past tense. So, in the example that we gave, the positive sentence, we said, she had done her homework when I came. She had done her homework when I came. The formula, subject, had, past verb. She is the subject. Had is had. The past verb, done. She had done. That's it. That's the whole formula. She had done her homework when I came. So every single positive sentence in the past perfect tense, it will follow this formula. Subject plus had plus past tense verb. She had done her homework when I came.
qaybta labaad, formula, qaacido. Sentence-ka marka uu yahay positive, waxaan isticmaalaynaa subject lagu daray had lagu daray past participle. Tusaale ahaan, she had done her homework. She was subject. Had lagu daray past participle. Done oo ka timid do.
The negative sentence, exact same thing. What's going to be different, you should know by now. After had, you will add the word not. That's it. You're negating the sentence. So the negative sentence will be, she had not done her homework when I came. Very simple. The only difference is you're going to add the word not after had.
Marka uu yahay sentence-ku negative, waxaad isticmaalaysaa subject lagu daray had lagu daray not oo dhacaysa had dabadeeda. Lagu daray past participle. Tusaale ahaan, she had not done her homework. She was subject. Had lagu daray not, had not lagu sii daray past participle oo ah done her homework.
The question. The question probably now, by now you should be able to guess the difference in the format. But the only difference, and we will mention it, is the subject will now come after had. Before it used to be subject plus had, now it's going to be had plus subject. So when we just make that small switch, how does the sentence sound? It used to sound like she had done. Now it sounds like had she done. It became a question. Had she done her homework when you came? And every single question, it ends in a question mark. Every single question ends in a question mark.
Marka uu yahay sentence-ku question, halka hore waxaad soo marinaysaa had, adigoo u qoraya sidan. Had lagu daray subject lagu daray past participle. Tusaale ahaan, had she done her homework?
This concludes our class today for the past perfect tense, and this also concludes all of our classes for the past tenses. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.